What's happening, Matt?
Looking for little flappy birds.
Have we seen any?
Yes.
A little thrush with the bad eye.
With the bad eye. And
Photographed by Mike with the bad eye for focus.
A couple sparrows.
Yeah.
A white crown.
Where are we?
I don't know.
Another path in the forest that looks the same.
Bay de Marguerite.
Something like that. Marguerite River.
Yeah. The Margaritaville River.
Yeah. If you were from like London, Ontario, you'd say Marguerite.
Yeah.
I am from London, Ontario.
I'm not.
I was.
I feel confident about saying that. But yeah, we're just kind of rounding out the afternoon, early afternoon, by looking for some smaller birds to shoot. There's a ruffed grouse again back there. They're everywhere.
They are everywhere.
We're just coming up to the edge of the river here, where there's a sort of a bridge to cross. So we'll take a look over there. And typically the small birds like to kind of congregate towards near the water.
Uh-huh.
So the closer you get to the water, the more you'll get.
Right.
So that's kind of the idea here.
And we've got some photos and footage of the bay. Very pretty. We're too late in the city for We're too late in the season for belugas.
We did do some portrait shots.
We'll put
our two best, or
we
one
will.
each right here.
We'll put the portrait shots in here.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Canon Color Science.
Right. None were shot with Fuji. You'll probably.
On the drive here, we found a very, very pretty. We were driving down a main road and we saw this crazy valley, like really epic vista and drop off. But the road's nuts. All the roads here are 90, and this is like a 2-lane road, 90.
Suggestion. 110 is the actual speed.
Yeah, on the way up we had a fully loaded gas tanker truck right on our bumper, pushing me to do like 110. He wanted to, I guess, speed up the hill.
Which I understand, but it's not the easiest of driving.
If you're a trucker watching this, I got news for you. I don't care how much speed you want. I'm going slow. Your truck's bigger than my truck, but you still can't push me up that hill. No. But anyway, we turned off this little side road, and it was really pretty. Very kind of like Swiss Alps Valley. Something's in those bushes. You see them? Yeah, something in the valley. We got the drone up. I didn't realize I couldn't see in the sun that I think I flew like right under a hydro line crossing the water, which was not great. But Matt saw it and laughed at me.
Well, I thought he was losing it.
But I did a really pretty hyperlapse.
A kinglet, golden crown.
Oh yeah? You got a picture?
A ruby crown. No, not yet. They pop around like, if anybody ever shot a kinglet, they're like little popcorn. You don't stop. So you'll understand what I mean by that if you've ever tried to shoot one. Oh,
well, there's a couple. All right, I'm going to put the phone away. I'm going to try this. Show Matt how it's done.
You're going to get really frustrated.
If I was a bird, I would nest in here. Oh, they do. There's something right up here. I know I said before the geese are dumb, but we just walked past grouse, and it turned into 5 grouse, and they're just doing their thing. Got some photos. Not only are they not afraid of us, they're sitting there eating. Very weird. They must know that the fox already ate one of them. we've completed our loop. The tide is out 200 feet. Apparently it goes out a couple kilometers, so pretty wild. We're still 2 hours away, I think, from it being right out. Hawk! Big hawk. I don't know what it was. It looked maybe like a rough-legged hawk that flew up over the edge. It's hard to say, but my feet are tired, pretty sore, so I'm taking a break. Here's my little perch. The thing I'm really loving about the St. Lawrence is, I mean, I definitely feel like I'm at the ocean. I mean, anywhere. It's pretty cool looking back here. That would be heading back west towards like Quebec City. But past that, I mean, it opens up. I don't know. It's got to be, I don't know, probably 100 or 200 kilometers across to land on the other side. So I can't see anything. I've got maybe a dozen gulls here. I don't know what they are. They just look like the normal seagulls I see at grocery stores. So they're not doing anything. I was hoping Matt would scare these other birds and then they would come up to me and not notice me. Just look at my camo. I look like a rock. That hasn't happened. Matt's coming back now. You can tell because he looks like a pylon in his bright orange. So I'm gonna try to shoot Matt. This does not need to be on burst. Well, we made it.
We made it.
Well, to the ferry.
I've never seen a window not clean itself.
It's a ram. All right, we should both be in that. Huh, okay.
Hello.
Where are we?
Salut.
We are
Français?
near Baie-Comeau.
Baie-Comeau, yes.
We are at the Rivière aux Outards. I guess we're in a
Yeah, it looks right.
couple kilometer hike. This is a very small park, but very diverse: forests, marsh, dunes.
Nine different ecosystems, I believe.
I think she said
In
9.
about,
yeah.
What, 3 kilometers? No.
4 square kilometers
Yeah,
or
4.
something. I think the park.
Yeah.
It's been good. I mean, it's about the extent of probably as long as I can hike. But I'm kind of annoyed because I didn't bring a stool. Because they told us how many like observation decks there are, which there are. Although this is the first one we've found with benches. But as you can see, what Matt's sitting on, they're the best benches ever. Unfortunately, you can't look out the windows because they're all screened and glassed. So
Well, you can look at them. You certainly can't shoot at them.
right.
Yeah.
If you were just a looker, then it's great.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool. We just had a really... I was walking down the path in front of Matt for once, and I saw a glimpse of a red fox, and I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. And, I mean, you kind of expect sometimes on walking trails through parks, like foxes might be a little more acclimated to people.
This one was no exception.
Yeah, Matt thought it would be, and I thought...
No, I said I don't think it would be. I actually said like...
I thought you said it would be friendly. It might be friendly.
It would be friendly, yes.
Right.
Sorry, yes.
Well, I'm a doubter. I get grumpy all the time. So I was grumpy. I didn't think we'd see it, and then all of a sudden...
But before this, we'd seen kestrels, harriers, some warblers.
But from my grumpy
this.
perspective...
Yeah.
eBird is talking about seeing like 300 kestrels migrating, and I think my failing, not that we could do anything different about it, but I think the more I've read, I mean, experienced birders are going to think we're idiots, but I mean, to each their own. But I didn't realize like how important weather is for migration.
For sure. Yeah.
Because a couple days ago they were saying, oh, good winds, be good migration. But from what I'm reading, I mean, it makes sense. I guess birds don't want to migrate in rain when we're wearing rubber and layers. I mean, it's a miserable day. It's getting better now. But I think, that's probably explains why we're not seeing the volume of birds coming through.
Yeah.
But to your point, I mean, so I'm not going to complain. I mean, I got my first photos of a harrier. I don't think they're great, but I probably got my best photo of a kestrel today. Mm-hmm. We saw a rough-legged hawk on the way up. On the drive up, yeah. Which was cool. I had a little crisis. Thought all of a sudden my camera had like Vaseline in the gears and couldn't focus,
yeah.
but that's fixed that.
Just a Canon?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nah. But anyways, we come around the corner and all of a sudden I look and I see, not only do I see the fox is sitting 40 feet off the trail. The only downside is like the grass is a little long, so you can clearly see him. He did not care about us at all. We stayed on the trail because it's sensitive through here, so you got to try to stay away from him. But he moved a couple times. He'd pick up and move 20, 30 feet, but not upset at all. Very beautiful animal. Probably a few fleas, scratching quite a bit.
But like actual the coat, the colors, all that in beautiful shape. One of the better ones that I've seen. Certainly in Southern Ontario, where we come, you'd see a few that are a little more maned.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of urban foxes, but they're pretty wretched.
It's a little skinnier. This one looked like it was really filled out and healthy.
Well, it's funny because again, sometimes I think I wonder what animal. I'm like, are animals just like running around all day long? Like, I'm like, this guy looks like he's had no. And we did see some prints and some digging. So it seems like he's probably pretty well fed.
He's all right. Yeah, he's doing good.
Taking a break. So anyway, he would lay down, he'd scratch, he'd look at us. Matt and I we try not to be right beside each other most times we shoot, so we at least get different angles.
Yeah.
So he'd look at one of us, look at the other, then he'd ignore both of us for a while. Yeah. Then he might pick up and walk 50 feet and lay down again. So we shot him for 20 minutes or so. Mm-hmm. And then when we left, he was still rolling around in the grass looking at us funny, so that was kind of cool.
It's nice how you can leave them how you found them.
Well, it's weird because normally you're I saw something, I shot it, and then it took off.
Yeah.
And then after 20 minutes, he's like, so how long do you want to watch me?
Sometimes you're like, wow, he didn't enjoy that at all, whereas this one was like...
Yeah. It was like watching my dog pull hair out of his butt.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So the tide, I don't know what time it is.
I believe it's 1:30.
The tide peaked. The high tide peaked at 11, and I think she said the low tide peaked at 5. Was it 5?
4 to 5.
4 to 5. So,
which could go out about a kilometer to 2 kilometers, she says.
That's pretty wild. Yeah, I mean, we'll. She took photos on the way in of what the tide looked like, but
Yeah, hindsight's 2020.
Yeah. But I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think a lot of these videos and a lot of people watching my videos, you guys are probably also either enthusiasts or amateurs or just local. So I mean, we're not pretending to be experts. I mean, Matt's 2 years into wildlife photography, right? I'm less than 1 year.
Yeah. 9,
So
10 months,
I mean, and Matt knows oodles more about stuff than I do. But I think it is fun to learn by doing and do our research and come out here. So we decided not to go out on a whale tour. We've both seen whales in humpbacks, I guess specifically.
I saw a few in Hawaii.
Yeah, I've seen whales up close in Mexico. Really, really. I was in Mexico once, very early in the morning on a big bay on the Pacific, a couple miles wide, and we went out with just a fisherman, just alone, just two of us on a boat, glass calm, mist, and we went out and we found a mother humpback with her calf, and they were breaching, the calf was breaching, the calf jumped out of the water maybe 10 times while we watched, and then the mom jumped once or twice, and it was... So I think for me, I mean, I would love to get a shot of a breaching whale.
But it's more probably going to be like a tail. Yeah,
probably going to be like, oh, that's a tail. That's cool. I'm like, so I've seen whales. I've seen epic whales. I don't think, I'm like, this, for me, this is a photography trip. I'm not here to spot whales. Yeah. So someday when I go whale shooting, I'll either come back here or go somewhere, but plan to go out every day at the right times of day, more research, right time of year, and hope to be if I want a shot of a breaching whale in the morning light, I don't know if they do that, but I mean, that's what I would be after, Yeah. So here, I mean, what's our plan the rest of the day, I guess? We got to walk back. We're probably 2/3 of the way through. Yeah. But I think the last part will be more dunes, beach,
seabirds.
So I think, I have seen some plovers, I think, and I'm hoping as the tide goes out that they're out
picking up
and about
crustaceans and whatnot.
Yeah. And she mentioned there were some islands, the Ragueneau Islands, and actually that's what we drove by, that island there's a guy grading the parking lot. Right. So that's over there, or over there. No, it'd be over there. Over there is America, I think. Yeah.
Due west.
What was that?
Some sort of warbler. It looked.
Yeah. This place is beautiful. If you're out here and you're a birder, I would highly recommend this park because it's so concentrated. Yeah. If you were here in good conditions, so either fall migration, a nice warm day with a breeze and the birds are going nuts, or spring nesting season.
Spring's much shorter, but it can be absolutely crazy. The fall one's a little more drawn out. It kind of goes over a month, or even more. There's probably people that know much more than I do about it, but it's more staged and staggered stages. Whereas in the spring, it's just we gotta go. Yeah, and it's just droves. But
we've seen. What else? So this is our second day. A bit of a recap on our trip. So Matt got to my house at 2:00 in the morning yesterday on Thursday. We decided to bypass, we were going to take the ferry across Tadoussac, but we decided not to. So we drove up through the wildlife preserve, across in Saguenay, and then down the fjord. Yeah. And the landscapes it was funny because we stopped a bunch on the way because, as you're driving through the Laurentides wildlife preserve, this is like Algonquin Park, but twice as dramatic. But the fjord on the other side, we definitely wasted an hour. Not waste is a strong word,
but we still did it. We've seen it. But if it was hey, do you want to do that, or do you want to do just get there and do the fjord? Let's
going through my camera roll last night. I dropped all my photos, and I guess I was going through them in reverse. And then by the time I got to the photos I took before we got out to the fjord, I was like, oh, I don't know, let's delete all these.
I
didn't delete them, but
I used a few that I took portraits of you taking shots.
Right.
But once you see the fjord compared to the Laurentides, let's be real. It'd be both beautiful, but one is just
and so if you're coming out here, assuming you're watching this as a tourist to the area or something, if you want to see the crazy views, now we haven't driven up the west side.
No.
Which would be cool. I don't know if we'll get around to it.
It's Sunday morning. If we decide to head out and go up the west side.
Could a bit, yeah. But if you want to see the crazy stuff, you need to drive from Tadoussac to Saguenay.
Yes.
On the east side of the fjord. So I'm sure the fjord's cool. I'm sure going down the fjord in a boat is cool. But anything I've seen online, I've never seen photos and videos of the drive. I'm sure they exist. But when I was Googling like Saguenay fjord, everything was like talking about the fjord itself.
Right.
Whereas I think the more dramatic views are on the it's not the water in between, it's like the edge of the fjord on the outside, on the road.
It's like you're on a secondary like channel of it, but it's like a road channel with a river.
Yeah, so
snakes
the Marguerite River.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know how impacted the river is by tides and stuff like that.
Right.
But it was super low. We saw a guy fly fish. I mean, it's like a fly fishing perfection river. I assume there's fish in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Haven't Googled that one, but if there were, we wouldn't catch any. But
so probably not. We'll just say
not,
there's
not with cameras.
No.
But it's cool. We saw a bald eagle.
Yeah.
We think we might have seen. I've never seen a barred owl, which drives me nuts. But we might have seen one perched on the side of the highway. Actually,
that was actually just as we got over the Quebec border.
Yeah, right into Quebec.
I think I saw a snowy owl like just on the edge of like a field in a tree. Like
that was a bag.
I've seen many snowy owls. Grocery bag or snowy owl, and certainly a large owl. Large
bag.
No, the previous one, the first one.
Oh.
The
well, that was a bird. The first one was definitely a bird.
Oh, sure, but it was a large owl.
It could it have been another raptor with its head tucked down? Like, I mean, the thing is, it didn't have that shape with like the little head. It had like just a big dome. Yeah. So, and it was kind of grayish. It seemed. I mean, you're going 60 miles an hour and you see it for a second, but it's that we definitely saw. A bald eagle fly right over the truck.
Yeah. You have the panoramic roof, so
yeah, he wasn't even that high. You think you saw another eagle?
I do, yeah.
We've seen a few. Did you confirm different harriers out there, male and female?
I'll have to look at the photos. It certainly looked like one was a gray ghost.
I thought so.
And I know the other one was a female for sure that was perched.
Right. And then kestrels. So I mean, I guess. We'll probably try to hit we hit the dunes this morning, got footage and all that. It was awesome. So I mean, I imagine we'll do more of that.
We actually haven't even hit like the I guess the harbor in Tadoussac.
Right. Yeah.
Like we haven't hit the harbor at all. There's common seals there apparently in that area. We haven't even where we stayed. We haven't even touched. So
I googled. So this morning we drove. If you're coming out here and you're trying to find the bird migration place, I could be wrong, but we drove to the address and it's just a little office building. Now it's actually at like the foot of a river. I don't know if you call it an estuary, but it does open up to the St. Lawrence.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there are lots of birds around that little river where it is, but upon more research, I think all of the migration activity they're talking about is at the dunes where we were. That's where I see all the hundreds of sightings on eBird.
Yeah,
and I don't see them like 20 kilometers up. I don't see it as much. So I think
be able to confirm better in the afternoon, like or later tonight. When we go there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably where it is. So I think, the rain finally stopped, which is great. So I think we'll probably head on our way.
Yep. Work our way back
go roll around in the mud like a Blink 182 video on the beach.
Sure.
See what we.
That's pretty alternative. Yeah, I like that.
What we can find. Oh, the snow geese.
That was very.
You tell the snow geese story.
Well, you were driving at the time.
Have I spotted?
No, I was driving at the time.
You were. I'd had enough. I was afraid of the bridges and everything.
So we.
Have I spotted everything good?
That's very rare and totally incorrect. So I was driving at that time. And we come across where we kind of like watching Google Maps on our navigation, and there was a bridge. As soon as we come up to the bridge where the river snakes kind of out of the foothills out to I guess that's the Seguin River or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of along there comes what comes out from the fjord on the north side. Just a marsh full of white birds, and then we noticed there's a boardwalk.
Them first.
Mike saw them. Yeah, Mike saw them. I mean,
the only thing I've seen.
If anybody missed them, I mean, quit now. There was 1,500 to 2,000.
There were a couple thousand birds, yeah.
So we decided to get out.
They're not small birds.
They're the same size about of a Canada goose.
And bright white.
With some black tips. Like, let's be real. So even easier to spot.
You miss one warbler.
Yeah. Have you ever seen like a group of gulls. Yeah, very similar but larger.
Twice the size, brighter.
So we start walking around this this boardwalk. We meet up with a he spoke a little bit of English. He had a big prime and he was taking some photos. They were on their way out. We decided to walk our way down the marsh, and we were struggling trying to like get kind of more clinical up close photos just because of how the distance. But for whatever reason, while we were walking down the boardwalk and looking for certain areas to shoot, we just heard this commotion, and all of a sudden they all rose. Like they all rose all at one time and circled and came right over top of us.
Yeah.
And it was the noise. The thing I remember is just the noise of them all above us.
Yeah.
And they just shot out this marsh and out to I guess kind of like a peninsula type thing.
And sticking out into the fjord.
And they all went out there, and they all sat up for a bit. And then some parts of the group would get up and fly around. Yeah. But I'd say about a kilometer out at that point.
Geese seem pretty dumb.
Yeah, but like I think the snow goose thing is kind of a big deal.
I think they are, yeah.
I mean, this right here is telling you how like amateur we are. I think it's a big deal.
Well, and the only reason I thought it was a big deal is because another photographer, shout out Helen, messaged me saying she was going to come to Quebec soon. I think later this month to see snow geese.
Yeah.
So we didn't even know what they were. I saw a white, and I said it's not an egret, and it's not a seagull, and it's not a snowy owl, and those are the only three white birds that I think I know. So then I said it kind of looks like a duck. And I said, kind of looks like a goose. I said, snow goose, Quebec. I said, could be a snow goose.
Ding, ding, ding.
And then I Googled it, and it was.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we got some pretty cool footage.
Yeah.
Pretty cool footage.
It's kind of like someone who doesn't know anything about owls is walking through the forest saying, oh, what is that? And then they show you the cell phone picture, and it's like a great gray on a perch with a baby.
Luckily, they don't look like cell phone images.
No.
So.
Well, no, my favorite shot of the whole trip so far is Matt's photo. He got like a really tight kind of abstract photo of them right overhead, which we'll post here.
Just as they blasted up, there was like a dark hill, I guess, in the background, and then because you're exposing something so bright, you stop down so much that it's almost black, and then it's just I called it pure chaos. The photo that I actually posted right now earlier. But it's just like there's wings and feet and necks and heads and eyes everywhere in this frame. It's very abstract.
Yeah.
And I'm more clinical, and I really don't take those photos often. But I mean, when the opportunity presents itself,
we're getting them there. We're getting
clinical's good. Getting a little more artsy is good too.
We'll link to Matt's YouTube because he just started one because he just bought a drone and now he's like the king artist of our little crew. So he can't just let me be the artsy one while he takes the good photos. But it's I was jealous. I'm jealous of that photo. I wish I took it, but I didn't take it because I was shooting video at the same time, and I did get cool video, which I will post here. So I mean, I'm glad I got the video. But again, I'm glad. Had we both taken the same shot 10 feet away from each other. Well, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know.
You kind of want a bit of mixture. You kind of
want. It's the trouble of shooting with, your friends.
Yeah.
That it's and I think we're lucky because, we like different things and have different styles and we edit different and
I don't have to, coach you. You don't have to coach me. You just go on and do your thing. It's not like you're shooting over my shoulder. I'm not shooting over your shoulder.
Yeah.
That's when you typically do get a lot of the same images.
Yeah, I mean, as a novice photographer, I feel I don't need help using my camera in the field. I appreciate, Matt sometimes he'll give me an idea if he thinks there's a better angle.
Yeah.
Or behavior, if it says, you're shooting this, but it's probably going to do this, or wait for it to do this, or it'll probably fly to that perch. Mm-hmm. Those are things I'm still trying to pick up. But yeah, I think it's the fox today, I'm quite confident in my shots, at least for me. I don't know that I'd bet money that my shots are better than your shots, but I'm going to be happy with my shots, and that's what I kind of care about, right?
You do it for yourself, for sure.
It's so it's good. I think we'll tie this one up here. We'll probably do a recap in the truck once we finish the park.
Just a quick one, yeah.
But yeah, if I'm gonna so we're kind of following I'll link it below. This website that kind of charted out like a migratory path, or not a migratory path, just like a bird watcher's journey down the St. Lawrence. So starting in Tadoussac and kind of getting out to the Atlantic Ocean. And I think there's 5 points, and they're probably all about 200 kilometers apart. So, I mean, we're ultimately, we're not making it.
Kestrel out there in the wind.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, just kettling out there. Yeah. We're not going to make it. Is he hunting?
Yeah.
That's
Using
cool.
that wind.
It is getting windy. Yeah.
I can see it's all getting. Anyway.
Good, the birds are coming. Anyway, I mean, we're not going to make it that far, but there is a lot out here. I mean, the whales.
We're out here, 16 hours probably now? Like from home? 15?
No, because Tadoussac from our house.
My house is nearly
from
12.
my house is 10.
Yeah, my house is nearly 12, and then another 2, I'm 14. Okay,
yeah.
so close to 15 for myself. But I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
So yeah, I mean, if you go further, if you go right out to the coast, which I mean, I'll do this again someday for sure. And I think for us, once you know where you're going and what you're looking for and what time of year and what you're going to find where, they say there's a colony of 20,000 Atlantic puffins. I'm like, well, I would love to shoot puffins.
Yeah.
So knowing that, okay, we just got to go on a drive for, 18. I mean, the puffins from here are probably another 4 hours, I think.
At least.
I don't think exactly. I think they're another 400 kilometers, give or take. 400 kilometers, we don't get right to the coast, but we get to the point where the St. Lawrence is a few hundred kilometers across to get down to Nova Scotia. Sorry?
So all right, we'll start the car.
Yeah, well, I mean, I joked, had Matt taken the bait, I was almost prepared to say, let's just go to the coast and then get another hotel for the night and give her. But, I mean, we didn't plan on going that far, and originally we thought we might have more people on the trip and stuff. So this has been
You know who you are.
If you're watching this,
It's Ryan.
This has been a crazy trip, though. I mean, we got a cool little hotel, but I mean, the beds are terrible. So we both have bad backs, and I mean, neither of us was comfortable. But I mean, yesterday we both had 3 hours of sleep, and 1,200 kilometers of travel. We left at 2 and didn't get the hotel until 7 p.m.
Yeah, by the time all the stops and sites.
And also, pro tip, there's no fast food in Tadoussac. There's a bunch of restaurants. It seems like a very cute place to stay. Yeah. Luckily, I mean, the French-English requirement is definitely higher than Montreal.
Yeah.
But we've gotten by. I mean,
I
don't speak French. I think I know enough words in French to idiotically ask for
Harrier?
the help that I need. And the Kestrel, yeah, they're both out there.
Both out there. Flapping each other.
You got to take one of these window screens out or something.
You can flip this up, actually.
But will the screen flip up?
Yeah. I think so. I've been looking at
Or does the top flip down?
I've been looking at it for a while.
I don't see how the bottom flips up. And there's a screen still.
Well, let's just see. There we go.
Well,
So I can see better.
I'm not going to shoot through a screen, but... Is it raining again?
It might be a misting.
I think it's right.
I want to see if that Harrier.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Well.
Yeah, we cut all this part out.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we're gonna see if we can get these birds and what happens.